All right, I am live. Let me talk to you. Well, we made it. You guys are tuned into Bort's Basement. This is the spiritual successor. I don't even know if it's a successor, so to speak, but definitely we've gotten some inspiration from Into the Winklerverse, hosted by our good friend, Mr. Bart Winkler. Unfortunately, what's the old adage? If you love something, let it go. Our boy Bart is on to bigger and better things, and good for him as he deserves it for all the hard work that he put in. But I won't lie to you, I had a void in my life. Much of it was jumping on a Bucks post game show with a lot of other crazy people like myself. And instead of continuing to be a part of the problem, I tried to, I don't know, have somewhat of a solution here. So we're launching it. This is Bort's Basement, part of the This Is Awesome podcast network. I am Hot Take Jake, and hopefully I will be joined by a lot of you other crazies. Tonight, the Bucks pull off the victory over the Boston Celtics. I don't remember the score as I, much like an amateur, pull up the score in front of you guys. So this is riveting. I hope you're enjoying this portion of it. There we are. 104-91. One of those games that the Bucks got off to a hot start and it kind of felt like a foregone conclusion. Yes, Boston, they closed the gap several times, but the Bucks ended up pulling out a victory here, and I'm happy. I know that there's not probably too much that we can glean from this game. To me, it didn't look like Boston really had much of a game plan, and there was a little bit of an upside to a Boston Celtics win. I think if they could have beat Milwaukee without Porzingis, without Horford, that gives them a nice confidence boost. And even if it doesn't, maybe it just completely demoralizes the Bucks, who, despite the slide that they've had in the month of April, to me remain the biggest threat to Boston in the Eastern Conference. So a couple notes from tonight's game that I noticed. First off, Brook Lopez, a complete throwback game, at least in the first quarter. Just started jacking up threes, and luckily for us, he was hitting them. But I won't lie, part of me was kind of like, okay, Brook, we get it. Settle down now. There were a great few, not so great few possessions from Middleton. Overall, I thought he had a good game tonight. But one thing that I have been harping on is like, Chris, if you're going to isolate, I'm totally cool with you posting people up, but I don't want you facing the basket. It's just one of the easiest steals that a defender is going to get all season. Uh, the Honestly, the Celtics looked kind of like the Bucks have looked in the past few weeks, where just a little bit disinterested. There wasn't a ton of energy. They have so many great shooters; it was inevitable that they would go on a run or two. Again, to me, they look like they're kind of checked out, ready for the playoffs, running through the motions a little bit. And the Bucks hit those threes early, while Boston did not. We've seen that happen in another game earlier this year where the Bucks just went crazy, and from that point, Boston was just kind of like, you guys go ahead, take it." There were a few things that I do want to, I guess, harp on. Maybe that might seem a little bit too negative, but before I do that, I want to bring in a esteemed member of the Winklerverse. Was also my first guest on my other podcast that I just started with my friend Brent, the This Is Awesome Wrestling Recap podcast. Let's go ahead and bring in Austin. Austin, how we doing, buddy?
Hey, we're doing good.
I can hear you.
Um,
I guess
I'm
probably help.
really excited that you're doing this. This is cool. Apologize for this
Professional.
weird ass headset that I got on, but
Austin,
got
just
it.
keep talking, okay? I'm going to figure out my headphones. Just give me your
Okay.
thoughts.
Yeah. All right. So, um, I was in cribbage tonight, so I didn't get to watch the full game. I went to the Raptors game on Friday night and saw what would have been a competitive game. The problem is that it was a competitive game against the Raptors, who have won maybe all of 25 going into that, and that was their third loss in a 4 in a row loss stretch. My problem with tonight is, okay, so if the Celtics didn't have everybody holding on in there and they managed to show up for the Celtics, even in like a A minus B plus squad, how are they not showing up for teams like the Raptors that are pretty much a C minus team? And what can we, because we're about to go into the playoffs, so what can we take with that?
All right, I'm back. Austin, thank you for carrying the show like you always do, to be expected. But hey, I wouldn't have it start any other way than technical difficulties. That was fun. Um, so, yeah, give me a brief recap of what I missed.
All right. So I missed portions of the game. I was at cribbage. I went to the Toronto game on Friday. Saw
Cribbage, like the game cribbage?
like the game cribbage league. Yeah.
A league?
Yeah.
Buddy, that is the most Wisconsin thing I've ever heard.
I
But
know.
continue.
It's stupid Wisconsin. I'm not playing euchre yet in the league, but
Well, can I a quick aside about cribbage?
yeah.
I have learned the game cribbage probably 13 to 20 times in my life. And then like, oh yeah, this makes sense. I get it. And then literally just don't play it and completely forget. And then someone else has to tell me how it goes again.
That happens if you don't play it consistently, I think. I think that's a normal thing.
All right. Well, is a cribbage league, is that like a team thing or?
Yeah, team.
Wow.
Team, and then you stack your points at the end of the league. It's a month-long league, and then it's adventure. I mean, can we shout out a possible sponsor? It's Adventure
I
Brewing
would love
on
it.
North Avenue.
Yes, go for it. Give them the plug.
Yeah, that's where it is. So maybe we can get them to hook you up with a sponsorship for this. I'm loving that you're doing this.
Yeah, I missed the Winklerverse. I miss all you guys, and obviously we're happy for Bart, but I just figure, why doesn't somebody just take the reins and go for it? So hopefully this kind of becomes a mini thing and we can all get together again. Maybe even
Yeah.
Bart will join us at some point.
Hell yeah. So what I was saying was that, so I don't know who exactly didn't play for the Celtics tonight. Do you happen to have that?
Yeah, so Porzingis did not play and Horford did not play.
Okay, so they had a pretty decent amount of people play.
Yes.
All right. I was talking to my supervisor today. I was like, watch this be the one that the Bucks win. And I went to the Toronto game on Friday and I was just blown away by that loss. There's no rhyme or reason behind their play, if you ask me. They were whatever 30 and whatever 11 with Adrian Griffin. They're 16 and 18, well, maybe 17 and 18 now with Doc. And I just don't get I don't think any of us get what the hell's going on with them right now.
Well, I
don't
listened
know
to
any of this.
I listened to Bart's Into the Winklerverse episode today, and it's tough because he's still holding on hope that they're going to flip the switch, was the buzzword or the buzz phrase. I guess it kind of comes down to, number one, if you believe in that sort of thing, if you're, a veteran laden team like the Bucks are, if you could just say, okay, it's go time. Or, and Bart admitted to this and copped to this, that maybe it's just a little bit of copium, that it's sometimes for people, it's just hard to face that this isn't the team we thought it was going to be. And I think there is something to be said about that maybe it's like the safe route. It's like, well, just keep putting it off. I'll deny because, hey, the playoffs are still coming in. Maybe I'll just get surprised. And I guess there's nothing wrong with that. I don't know. I think it just goes to if you'd rather get your heart broken at the altar or get broken up with ahead of time.
And I think the problem with that is that, yeah, you're putting off what is most likely the inevitable in an opportunistic look at what could be. But I do have to shout out Q. I told him that
I just saw Q. He
popped
into the studio and then he left.
Oh, he did? He opted in? Oh, he'll get back in.
Well, yeah, Austin, last year you and I don't remember if Q was, but you were definitely one of the optimists during the Heat fiasco. So I appreciate you for hanging on. Um, did you
That's
feel like, I got to be honest, did you feel a little bit betrayed when they still shit the bed?
all. Yes.
Okay.
That sucks, man. I
Because you're like,
like
don't make me look stupid.
even with Giannis, with he had that it was back injury, right? Or what was it last year? I don't know.
Yeah,
But
I think I probably tried to just block it out. So I don't remember exactly how he got hurt. I just know he was hurt and that he probably could have played and they got a little bit cute. And
yeah,
yeah,
and
the rest is history.
he missed like 3 games and then came back at like 75%, and it wasn't even like Giannis was on the court at that point,
Sure.
you know. But I mean, I'm gonna have that same dumb optimism right now that as long as Giannis is on the team, and sorry to say, but I don't think that Dame being on the team is going to be something that I'm going to be optimistic about. I'm going to be more optimistic about Chris and Brooke. I'm going
And
to
maybe
be
they catch lightning in a bottle again.
more optimistic about the people that went through that treacherous run in 2021, down, always down game one, down 0-2 a few times. I'm going to be more optimistic about them than a guy that never made it to the finals. And I've
Ooh,
watched this
shots
whole.
fired.
Well, sorry, Dame. I mean, I'm glad you're here, but you don't really want to be here. I'm going to be more optimistic about the guys that won and love it here than I am about the guy that, kind of looks like he doesn't give a darn.
Yeah, I mean, and some people will try to attribute it to Dame's personality. I don't know. Like maybe there is something to that, but again, I try to ask people to be honest, and I'll say, did this season not feel off from the moment Dame stepped out of that limo and looked like his dog just died?
I, I, I mean, honestly, like, I'm not going to go speculate into his personal life, but, it's okay for people to not be happy. He might
Yeah,
just have that going on this year, and that might be what's going on. But
I mean, I have a
as
theory,
I
and
say, I'm
I've
not going to speculate that I speculate. Sorry.
well, I have a theory, and maybe it's a negative theory, but I'm known for my negativity. That's kind of my shtick. I don't know. Some people say negativity. I say realism.
I say
Potato, potato.
realism. I agree with you a lot,
Um,
unfortunately, and I don't want to.
well, what is it? The great CM Punk once said, "I am the truth, and the truth is painful."
Yeah, feels
But
good.
um, my theory on Dame, like this entire offseason, it was I'm going to Miami, Miami, Miami. Tell my agent I'm not going anywhere but Miami. Like it's all he had in his mind. So he probably was already spending the money in his head. In his head, he was picturing himself as a young millionaire, multi-millionaire, hundreds of millionaire kind of thing in South Beach, banging coked up hookers, just living the life of a young single guy. And then it's like agent comes back to him and just says, "Look, dude, it's not happening. You got to, we got to open this up." So he thought, okay, like where could I win? Milwaukee, Brooklyn would be cool. So I think Brooklyn was on the list. So any way you slice it, we were not his first choice. He even, hold on, I gotta figure out how to do these comments thing. There we go.
Yeah,
First comment of the show, coked up hookers, classic.
it would
Um,
suck. It would suck to like have to compare the South Beach hookers to the Silk Exotic dancers, right?
to the Bradford Beach hookers.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's no good.
No, but it's like then the reality sets in that it's like, okay, Milwaukee, me and Giannis could probably do some damage, go try to win. But then it's like, damn, Miami and Milwaukee in January, like that's a cold, literally a cold, harsh reality.
Hmm.
So I don't know. That's just my theory, is that he just had his heart set on Miami, winning be damned. That's where he wanted to be, and that nothing was going to really make him happy. Maybe I'm reading into it too much, but that's just kind of where my mind goes. I do want to just real quick. I put the link to YouTube into the comments. So I see Terry, you've been backstage here. If you want to, I'm going to go ahead and add Terry. And if Terry exits right away, then we'll know that he's just wanting to watch and not join in. Okay, Terry is streaming with audio only. So I guess Terry does not want to be part of it, but that's okay. We appreciate you tuning in and paying attention. If anybody is watching this on YouTube, I will post the link to the StreamYard. So if you want to jump in, we'd love to have you join me and Austin and anybody else that's going to jump in. Hoping to see some more members of the Winklerverse tonight, and maybe some new faces too. So yeah, I just posted the StreamYard link in YouTube, and feel free, more the merrier. I noticed you got your Brew Crew gear on tonight, Austin. I know the Brewers had a big win tonight. I figured if anybody wants to talk about the Brewers, I did not watch the game, but feel free. I am enjoying this Brewers team, but it's Bucks first. Let's be real for me, and I'm not judging anybody if you are Brewers first. But a couple other things I noticed from the game tonight, and some of the things that still bother me about this team. A lot of lazy turnovers, particularly early, where again it's like, guys, I know that like we're building for the playoffs, and like, but you still have to treat the ball like gold. You have to treat the ball like a newborn baby and take care of it. And then also just this team, it's maddening to me, the laziness that I see when they're rebounding the ball. And it starts from the top down because Giannis, I rarely see the guy leave his feet for a rebound. He kind of just stands there, puts his long ass arm out, waits for it to come to him. That could be the difference between a win and a loss some nights. It's just not just the actual statistic of here is our amount of reboundings, but that little bit of hustle, securing the ball. You have Brook Lopez, who's 7'1", and I think he averages a handful of rebounds. Like that's been him in his whole career. So like we can't really expect anything different. But a guy like Giannis, who's 7 feet tall with just an insane amount of length, athleticism, and explosiveness, I feel like the least you could do is just a little bit more effort on that. Maybe, again, I'm overreacting to that or nitpicking, but that is one reason why I am a huge Bobby Portis guy. Say what you want about him. He can go cold offensively, but on the rebounding end, he is always hustling for boards and getting in there, getting those offensive tips and whatnot. I was throwing to you, so I don't know.
Okay, yeah. So,
but I was like, we'll
you
see.
cut out. You cut out for a second.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah. May I recommend the Amazon Eero? I don't know.
Amazon Eero.
It's a mesh system for Wi-Fi. It's like $250. It's pretty good.
Oh, my Wi-Fi went out. Oh,
yeah.
My apologies.
No, you're good. So, okay, I'm going to agree with you on that. Bobby Portis is still the man. So, but I wasn't able to watch the full game because I was at cribbage. So let's keep that in mind. So I can't break.
Well, yeah, priorities.
Yeah, but I'm going to agree with you that Bobby Portis is still the fucking mayor. And I think I would like to say after this year, I think it's the last of Brook. Like, win or lose, I think that I can't be having him standing down low and then going chasing a guy to the 3, and I can't have him on the perimeter. He's too slow, and that's not any fault of him. He reinvented his game to make threes as a 7-footer. The guy was great, but I think your time's up, buddy.
Sure, and I think that's not unfair to say. I mean, the guy, I think he's 35 or 36 years old now, 7'1" at almost 300 pounds. At some point, Father Time is just going to take over. So it's not like I don't know. I think you're just trying to squeeze out the last bit of basketball that you can out of Brook Lopez at this point. And I think his value in the offseason is as an expiring contract. So I would see, as you said, I mean, whether or not or however he performs in the playoffs, I think this is probably the last year of Brook Lopez. And I think we have a lot of Giannis at the 5 in our future.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think they squeezed the last out of Brook in 2021. Honestly, because 2022 he came back from the back
They got hurt the first
surgery,
game, right?
whatever.
Yeah.
But I think and as a Middleton jersey owner and a big Middleton stan, if they don't produce this year, I'm okay with him going. Like at this point, I'm fine with it. I wasn't fine with it a year and a half ago. But it makes sense to kind of clear a little bit of the roster and see whatever the hell you can do. I mean, salvage what you may.
Sure. We got some more comments coming in. Mike Fedig says airport lounge dancers are by far superior. That is a throwback there. Not that I've ever been there. Let's see what else we had. Mike again chiming in with if Giannis had Thanasis's energy. Yeah, that would be like it would be a cheat code. I don't know how long he would last in the league though if he had
He
Thanasis's energy.
tackled Dunleavy.
That's true. I mean,
He's got
maybe.
the energy, man.
Well, I think he got his Thanasis out of his system earlier in his career.
Maybe,
That all came out in one move. Let's see. Red Baron says they need to be more aggressive on the offensive glass for sure. Who else do we got? Looks like Mike was giving Bobby his flowers as well. Blue collar baller, 6-man of the year. I like it. The Game Cave, great follow. If you're into old school gaming and just old school pop culture, bring back Prisbilla for rebounding help. All right, we got some throwbacks. That leads, of course, right into Ordan Gadzurich, I should say. Yeah, you guys are bringing it on the comments. Good stuff. Those are old Bucks fans, you can tell.
Was that Game Cave?
Game Cave. Yep. On Instagram and I think on YouTube as well. So if you're into retro gaming.
Twitter.
Yeah. No, on Twitter as well. A couple other things I noticed. The Patrick Beverley did this wrist injury. Is he like the Henry Rowan Gardner of the NBA, where he hurts his wrist and all of a sudden he can shoot? He seems like he's been on fire from distance. And I mean, I was pretty downtrodden when I heard that Pat Bev was hurt his wrist, and it sounded like it was going to be a 3-4 month injury. And then he's just like, no, I'm going to give it a shot. And really, he hasn't missed a beat. If anything, it's almost like he's taken that challenge and taken his game to the next level.
Was it the shooting wrist?
That is a good question. I do not remember.
Because maybe it was the guiding wrist, and he got a little got some pins put in there, and it just helped him out.
We made it this far into the game. Into the podcast, I should say. We have not talked about Giannis getting hurt. I heard just before the broadcast went off the air some weird injury in his calf, something I had never heard of before. Obviously, that is probably the only thing that matters from this game. The Celtics made their runs, which is fine. Really, I'm not worried about anything that happened with the Celtics tonight because if we don't have Giannis, none of this matters in the first place. Like, we're dead in the water. It's over. So hopefully we get some updates on Giannis, and hopefully they're positive updates. As I say that, I see I've got some notifications from Woj and Shams. Looks like Giannis is undergoing testing for his left calf and MRI, and just left a little while ago to do that. He did walk off the court on his own power with a noticeable limp, which we saw. But yeah, it looks like Doc says that's a good question as far as the concern, Giannis's injury. But he's high, but he's Giannis. I think everyone probably feels the same way as I do right now. We're just hoping for the best. So, plenty of posts about Giannis with nothing really to say other than we're waiting. I don't like that. It looked like a non-contact injury, and typically, really more in like the NFL when you have those non-contact injuries, those are the worst. But Giannis is Superman. We saw him snap his leg in half, and a week later he's back. So
yeah, that was what was that, game 4 against the Hawks when that happened? Or was that game 3? Nonetheless,
I think it was game 3.
Yeah. Okay. So, and then he was back in game 1 against the Suns? Was he back that quickly? But nonetheless, how many? Yeah. Do you think they even win one series without Giannis?
No,
Yeah.
it doesn't. There's not a single matchup in the Eastern
No,
Conference that I think they
nope.
win without Giannis. He is the lifeblood of the team. Goes without saying. Jerry, another esteemed member of the Winklerverse, chimes in with belt to ass. I love it. Welcome in, Jerry. Jerry's the man.
Hey,
Um,
Get Jerry. Jerry, you were at that tailgate. You can hop on a stream every
I
once in a
agree.
while.
I agree. We
We've
we
all
met
met
Jerry.
you.
He's a good dude. Jerry also chimed in again, saying no Giannis equals Brewers season. That is, yeah, that is apt. I pretty much, I did tune in for the finals last year, but after the Bucks got eliminated, I was pretty much done with basketball for a long time. Um, Once I kind of saw that the series was in hand for Denver, I did tune in to see them close it out against Boston because that's just fun. I like to see the Celtics in misery.
So if you want to talk Brewers for 2 seconds,
Yeah, go for it. You can
I
fill me
didn't.
in. We'll make it the Austin Brewers podcast.
No, I didn't watch the game tonight. Obviously, they didn't have it on. But the game the other night when it was, what was it, 8-10, they ended up losing. Just the mere is probably the wrong word, but the offensive strength that we now have, like, it sucks that we couldn't line up this offensive roster with the pitching we had a year and a half ago. Like, go fucking figure, Brewers.
That
Go
is the story
figure.
of the Brewers, but pretty
Yeah,
much
it just
since
is,
they
man.
got relevant again in 2008, they have
Ugh.
never. They either have the juggernaut offense or just the unstoppable pitching staff. They could never even kind of meet in the middle and get like good offense, good pitching. It's like
Right.
it's one or the other, and you kind of live or die with it.
It can't be balanced. It's a teeter totter, and it's one or the other, and you live off one and you die off the other, and that's what we saw. Was that last year? I
Well,
don't know.
it's a
It's
fun
been every year.
exercise.
It's been every
I've
year.
talked several times about like imagine that 2008 through 2012 Brewers offense with the Brewers pitching staff from the last few seasons. Like,
That's a
could you
World
imagine?
Series team.
Yeah, that's a probably multiple World Series team. But one thing I will say about the Brewers, they did make a comeback yesterday, which was great to see. I think they were down, was it 8-0 or 8-1 maybe? And I saw somebody comment on X, Twitter, Twixer, or whatever it is, that if Council was the manager, he probably would have put a position player into pitch and they would have lost by 15 runs. So, never say die. That's I think this team likes playing for Murphy. I think Murphy, for all the jokes we made about him getting the job this offseason, maybe he's not the guy that gets you a World Series, but for this team, maybe he gets you to that next guy. Maybe, and some people think it's Ricky Weeks. I think again that's kind of like wishful thinking because it would be cool, but yeah, personality wise, he's a good fit for a young squad.
Yeah, I like it. And shout out also to Grant Bills. I believe he had something similar to that where they put Uribe in when they were down by 3 runs for no reason. Well, because they got blown up. Ashby blew them up, but they were down by like 3 runs, and he's like, "Yeah, well, we're kind of swinging the bat. We'll put Uribe in there." Something that Council would have probably put a position player in for, and just been like, "All right, tank this game in the 4th inning, 5th inning, whatever." So I do kind of like that, but we don't need to sit here and talk Brewers when you're doing a Bucks post game show. That's too Bort's basement. Like, how long can you go at a Bucks game before it becomes Packers or
No.
Brewers?
This is the basement, buddy. We can talk about whatever we want. It doesn't have to be sports.
Somehow that does look worse than my basement. I know it's a background drop, but
No. The Game Cave just asked, "Is that Bart's basement?" I'll never tell.
the next one that I do this from, I'm going straight into my basement and like gonna put it in the worst corner.
Yeah, so I have a Fieldstone basement, and it does look like a murder dungeon, like something out of Saw. So maybe I'll go down there for the next one too. Let's get this
Hell yeah.
creepy. Creepier the better. All right, yeah, I think that's going to do it. We got about a half hour in. I wasn't anticipating much more than that. I was hoping for a few more people to join in, but it's the inaugural show. Austin, I appreciate you. And again, my
Appreciate you, Jay.
tentative plan is to anytime that we aren't graced with the Winklerverse for a post game show, so pretty much weekdays, I'm going to try to hop on here and see if anybody wants to chat. If anybody wants to, that's awesome. If not, I'll talk to myself. It's still very, very stress relieving and it's cathartic sometimes. Sometimes you need that after a bad loss, particularly. So, yeah, again, I appreciate everybody that's listened. I'm going to start a Twitter page at some point to follow that for official updates. But until then, you can follow me on Twitter X. I don't even know what my handle is. Hold on. Let me find it.
It's at Jacob Anderson,
Jacob Anderson WI. Thank you. Yes, Austin knows at Jacob Anderson WI until I have this show's own Twitter page. You guys can follow me there. Wait a minute. Before I jump the gun, somebody just jumped in. The one, the only Q. My man,
Gentlemen.
What is going on?
Q!
It's the reunion.
I know. Does this feel a little bit wrong to you, or because it kind of feels right?
I've been popping in and out. I think it's been great. You guys are killing it. So, and I watched a few minutes of your wrestling thing. I'm not a big wrestling guy, but it seemed like you had quite a few viewers. So congrats on that. Making moves.
Hot take, Jake's making moves. I'm not doing shit.
That was a big shout out to Mr. Bart Winkler. He was nice enough to repost. I didn't even message him, ask him to. He just did that out of the kindness of his heart. And we know that national radio asshole. He has all the followers. He has all the clout. So without him, we wouldn't have gotten all those viewers. So
yeah, we got to listen to Bart in a few minutes, huh?
That's right.
Well,
he's on right now. So if you guys jump off this show, make sure you tune in to CBS Sports Radio and listen to the Bart Winkler show.
And then a little bit of breaking news. I was listening to Sparky's show, and he's bringing an afternoon show back from 2 to 5.
That's beautiful.
Wisconsin Sports Daily. And it'll be him and a producer doing local sports talk, and taking callers. So 1250 is coming back slowly but surely.
Hell yeah.
Like herpes. When you think it's gone, it just comes right back.
Well, what's funny is a lot of the local personalities after 1250 went under, we're kind of doing a victory laugh and dunking on it. And it's like, dude, I have not listened to sports radio since 1250 went under. They were so head and shoulders above anything else locally for me that it's like, okay, I'll go see podcasts. I'll see who's doing what, because to me, those guys always came off as fans to me and as the realist, and not lazy hacks that probably don't even watch the games and just have a cushy job.
Yeah, the other local guys are not good. I usually tune into Grant Bills in the afternoon.
Same.
Because he's the real deal. So now I'll have to make a tough choice between Sparky and Grant. But Buck Star will have left calf examined. Bleacher Report.
Yeah, he's going to have the MRI. I bet it's a safe bet that we don't see Giannis until the playoffs at the earliest.
Fine. What do they have? 3 games left. OKC and the Magic twice.
Yeah, we play the Magic tomorrow. And
there is some seeding to be had too, but well, maybe they'll learn their lesson from last year. I think they got cute with, well, let's just sit Giannis for this game. It's the first round and we'll be fine. And we saw how that happened. So I know if it's up to Giannis, he's going to want to play, but good God, if he can't go in the playoffs, we're, dead on arrival. So
yeah, I'm sure he'll be all right, because they showed him leaving the arena. He was limping, but if it was absolutely terrible, they would have taken him somewhere tonight. You don't wait a day. So,
well, I think, was it Woj that tweeted that he was on his way to the medical facility to get it immediately? But you're right that I don't think he would be, as a precautionary thing. Do they put him on crutches? Do they, but I don't know. Maybe that's just wishful thinking on my end.
Yeah, I don't know. I think he's Wolverine and he's going to be just fine. That's where I'm at. Giannis is Wolverine.
Yeah, we've seen it before. We can only hope to replicate that. I mean, hey, remember the last time? Well, I shouldn't say that. The last time was last year, but I was going to say, remember the last time he got hurt and then he, snapped his leg in half and won us a title?
Yeah.
I'm trying to hang on, man. I got really negative, Q, but I won't lie. You've inspired me. It was you, and then also all the, idiots like Gilbert Arenas, the dipshits on his podcast, and everybody writing off the Bucks, and they've always written off Giannis and tried to, tear apart his accomplishments. Now I'm kind of just like, you know what? Fuck all these motherfuckers. Not safe for work language, sorry. But honestly, how great would it be after everything you've been through this year to just now say, you know what? It's the playoffs. Let's just jam it up their fucking asses. Why not?
Yeah. I mean, I've been as frustrated as anybody with these losses, but I don't see the point of writing them off before the playoffs just because like stranger things have happened and like we've got the ammo. We've got I'm not saying we're going to go to the NBA finals and win it all, but it seems like we're still the second best team in the East. So until somebody beats us and knocks us off, I'm going with that. And it was kind of funny. Bill Michaels last week had like this crazy rant where he was just ripping into like idiot Bucks fans that were still like on the bandwagon. And he said all of us would just dry up and like be dead cockroaches if the team lost in the first round. So I fucking made a bet with him. So we got $500 on the line.
Good.
Did he actually respond?
Yeah. I went on.
Okay, I saw you put the tweet out. I wasn't sure if he responded.
So I
went on air and did it.
Accepted. So he would not do the shaved head thing, but we got $500 in a dinner at one of his sponsors bars, Sloppy Joe's in Hubertus. So
way to go.
I thought you were gonna say Cousins.
Yeah, get the pepperoni melt.
The Radio Joe cheese curds.
Yeah, I get the cheese curds.
All I need is so if the Bucks lose in the first round, I have to pay $500. If the Bucks make it to the Eastern Conference Finals, he has to pay $500. So if they lose in the second round, then we're both good to go.
All right. Well, then we need a Bucks song then again this year. We need an actual Bucks song. We need Eddie J to come back with something.
Well, I happen to know the last YouTube commenter has been known to make rap music in the past, so maybe we can get a Bucks anthem from Mr. Mike that just posted.
We might need an anthem.
Yeah.
Otherwise, if not, I'm all in favor of Bucks Lust, which is, I mean, God, what a classic banger. I still, I'll bring it up in the car.
Same.
Yeah, I like that song, but I'll just say I wouldn't let that guy around my kid. So
cute.
So that's not his first bit of fame. This was 15 years ago. Jim Rome had an entire segment dedicated to Eddie because he released a song called Aaron Rodgers Rock and Roll. And Rome kept playing it on his national show and was just ripping him in a playful way, and was just like, by the way, guys, you could book Eddie. Like, he plugged his email to book him for events.
Is that the one? Wait, that's not the Aaron Rodgers is my dream man one, is it?
I think he did that one too. Eddie just
God,
stuff at the wall.
If I knew how to share that, I would just straight up go to YouTube and find it. Hold on, you guys keep talking. I'm gonna see if I can figure this out.
Aaron Rodgers is my dream man. Yeah, look that one up. Hey, Q. So I'm gonna stay positive with the Bucks until they get knocked out of the playoffs. So what do you think will be the key in change from what they've done in that 4-game, take out the Boston win that they had tonight. What do you think will be the key in the change to make them win 4 out of 7?
So I think they're just going to care. And I think that they're all going to play.
So
honestly,
does that mean make threes? Does that mean feed Giannis in the paint? Does that mean distribute the ball? How can they change losing to 4 shit teams?
So I'm going to say it again. I think they will just care. And Jake and my biggest disagreement is that the regular season matters or doesn't matter. I think it matters for seeding purposes, but our seeding's been basically locked in for the last 3 weeks. We can go up or down. Well, I mean, we can't really go up anymore, but oh my God.
Okay, sorry to interrupt, but I think you guys are. Let me know if you can hear this. Just give me a thumbs up if you can hear it. We wait in anticipation. Well,
there he is. Oh yeah.
The Super Bowl.
Scramble, toss them keys, drive their defense to his knees. My Green Bay packs heart and soul. Aaron Rodgers, rock and roll. Who's that QB with that 1-2 punch? Eats deep beats with cheese for lunch. Red zone time, the guys be flying. Big butt men be doing some grind.
All right, I had to stop that. If I continued for too long, my anus was
Did Reese Hoskins steal that from Eddie J. Lemberger?
I'm sure his neighbors love him. Looked like he had some shared walls.
Oh my God!
Dude,
can
we get the Bucks lust to round things out?
Oh, that is a great idea. Maybe that we'll just make that the bumper music because he's not going to sue us, right?
But while we're waiting for that, so something that was extremely encouraging from tonight was the change up to the starting lineup.
Yes, I'm glad you brought that up. I forgot.
I think that one of the reasons we were successful in 2021 is we used the 5th spot as kind of a spot start, played the matchups after Dante DiVincenzo went down. We didn't really know who was going to start in that 5th spot. And I think Pat Beverly starting tonight and knocking Malik Beasley out after 75 starts this season, I think it just opens the doors for just a little more diversity in the starting lineup.
Or how about even just a sense of urgency from these guys who maybe got too comfortable? I was kind of hoping that AJ Green would get that spot, but if we get Pat Bev's energy right off the bat, totally cool with it too.
Well, and I think what I'm hopeful for is we're not just locking in Pat Bev. We're not writing that in Sharpie. I hope it's a chalkboard situation where you just never know who's going to start in that 5th spot, because that means for the first quarter, the other team doesn't know what to plan for, which makes their practices a little more difficult each game. So, but I did like Pat Bev, and Pat Bev obviously came out he got shot out of a cannon. So, I don't know. That guy's legit. And I think Austin, not having Pat Bev for most of those games during the losing streak, that had a big thing to do with it too. So, do you guys think Portis is going to win 6th man of the year?
I mean, I think he has a shot. I think he has a case. I'll say no, because I think that the Bucks, no matter how you slice it, they did not live up to expectations to what the national media certainly thought they were going to be this year. And I think that will hurt them a little bit. The fact that they kind of tailed off at the end is probably going to hurt them as well, as far as, sometimes people just vote based off of, what happened lately or what have you done for me lately. So I would love to see it. I think, God, I love the mayor. I can't stand when people talk shit. But yeah, I'm hoping for a Bobby Portis win. Austin, what do you think?
I don't pay attention to the awards. I do obviously when they get awarded, but I don't give a shit about that. I just care whether or not the Bucks are winning and how good the individual players on the team are. I'm a big Bobby Portis fan. I mean, the guy kicks ass.
We got some more comments. Red Baron says, glad Bev started. He brought the energy. Mike says, agree, good game by Bev. Hopefully he can carry some consistency if he gets more out of that or more of that time. Portis deserves sixth man. Shout out to Mike. He brought up that he made a Brewers anthem in 2011. I remember this song. I found it. It's a banger. So
Share
I think I want to end the show with this Brewers banger. We'll definitely get Bucks Lust going, but for now, again, thank you so much, you guys, for following. Q, you got something?
Yeah, so Malik Monk is the leader, but he's hurt. Naz Reid, Norman Powell, Brogdon, Brogdanovic.
Yeah, that's got to be
Karis
Bobby's
LeVert,
award. Give it
and
to
then
Bobby.
Bobby. So
I mean,
those are
to me, not
the
just
top
like a
six.
numbers thing, but Bobby just, I mean, he has the spirit of what a sixth man should be. Like, give it to Bobby, for God's sake.
Yeah. I mean, I think if we can make a push here, like if we can, like, let's say Bobby will start in place of Giannis tomorrow. But I guess that's not a sixth man. That's what's tough.
It'll
is, like,
go towards his numbers.
That's
So like,
definition of
yeah,
six man, isn't it? Step
Yeah.
I
up.
don't know.
you're the guy that steps up. And to be fair, I like that, Austin, because when Bobby does play in Giannis's place, it's like 25 and 14 every single time.
Mm-hmm.
So
All right,
yeah.
guys. I think that's going to do it for the first episode of Bort's Basement. I am going to leave you with this banger from the 2011 Brewers squad, made by our friend Mike Fettig that was just on the stream commenting. The name of the song is M.O.B. It's the glove you see. I will share the screen, and until next time, enjoy, and we will be out of here. Thank you, guys.
This is a pleasure to talk to you boys.
Good stuff, Jake.
Thank you.
Here's the pitch. He swings and drives into deep left. Way back. This ball is gone.
M.O.B. is the glove that you see. Classic symbol reppin' Milwaukee. Get up, get out, here and Bob, you can shout, it's go! Yeah! Ron hitting lights out. Beer named Our Park, triple hops, brewed Miller. Our team is all taste, big thriller, Hunter, the brew, the prey. October, looking off in the night, forget it, it's over. 2011 season has begun. Got rocks on the grill, drinking Miller in the sun. The crew went all out, getting Sean Markham, and that's Doug Melvin saying, come get some. There's a vapor trail, it's so stanky, left by none other. Zach Cranky, dropping off the table, curve on your Vanny, leaving batters begging for money. There in that crowd is the big sick wielder, aka protege, transfielder, Casey McGee for the veteran council. Hot corner the heat, you can't handle 24 swinging at the player bench show. Double GT, got camel toad, top of the night, sit back and relax, chopping down batters with our blue and yellow axe. M.O.B. is the glove that you see. Classic symbol reppin' Milwaukee. Get up, get out, here and Bob, you can shout, it's go! Yeah! Ron hitting lights out. Beer named Our Park, triple hops, brewed Miller. Our team is all taste, big thriller, Hunter, the brew, the prey. October, looking off in the night, forget it, it's over. This verse goes retro back to 82. White, big, blue, pinstripes that be the crew. Welcome to County Backbone of Milltown. On the race for the pennant, L Kings to be crowned. Number 4, the igniter, we can call him Paul Mall. Or Mr. 3000, knocking leather off the ball. 19, Rob Young, leaving teams in the shade. Send them home with a loss and a glass of Robinade. On second, it's Gumby, Cecil Cooper at first base. CH Dom, 10 behind the plate, 3-time All-Star from 80 to 83. 23, hang left at Vaughn's Valley, find Ben Ogilvy, Mr. Mustache Riley, fingers up on the mound with that 1, 2, 3, always striking batters out. Seventh inning stretch, zig boot, Terrero head deep to center field, take that tap off the barrel.
M.O.B. is the glove that you see, classic symbol reppin' Milwaukee.
Get up, get out, hearing Bob, you can shout, it's go! Yeah! Braun hitting lights out.
Beer named Power Park, triple hops, brewed Miller. Our team is all taste, Big Thriller, Hunter,
The brew,
the Prey,
October,
Looking off in the ninth, forget it, it's over.
bottom of the first,
Base is already jacked.
outfielders pushing back when Brody's tapping his back.
Crown Prince on
They'll
deck,
probably toss him for a walk.
pitcher shaking in his cleats and he's flinching for a walk.
Modern Harvey wall bangers always aiming for the fence.
After Bernie hits the slide,
Stop him with defense. 23, Ricky we started doubles at second base. Stopping runners from the throw by guitarist behind the plate. Oh!
see Los Gomez robbing home runs at the fence, and when he's at the plate, he got a stare so tense. Corey Hart sunglasses at night, mean mugging, backing up his glare, tatted up, wheelhouse slugging. Wes, what they doing when Bernie's tapping his bat?
Outfielders moving back when Brody's tapping his bat.
What they doing?
Moving back when Brody's tapping his bat.
Tearing leather off the ball, soaring in the upper deck. M.O.B. is the glove that you see, classic symbol reppin' Milwaukee.
Get up, get out, hearing Bob, you can shout, it's go! Yeah! Braun hitting lights out.
Beer named Power Park, triple hops, brewed Miller. Our team is all taste, Big Thriller, Hunter,
The brew,
the Prey,
October,
Looking off in the ninth, forget it, it's over.